how can changing the way clothes are made and bought and worn help save our planet? This organization sheds lights on the environmental impact of retail production to get more people involved in dressing sustainably. We're speaking now with the spokesperson of Fashion Revolution Philippines, Prince Jimdel Ventura. Prince, thank you so much for joining us. So share with us, how does the Philippine retail industry contribute to environmental damage?
Thank you for having us, Rico. Well, you know what? Many people don't know, especially Filipinos, that the fashion industry is extremely wasteful and polluting, exploiting as well. In fact, it is one of the highly attributing produced and the distribution and consumerism of fashion items is highly attributed to the destruction of our environment. And to make our clothes, actually the fashion industry relies heavily on coal for electricity and heat, and around 97% of the fibers we have come from virgin material sources. And over 60% of the fabrics we use are made from non-renewable fossil fuels. And so in these heavy supply chain and high volume system that we have, 10% of the global carbon emissions come from the industry alone. And we are all a part of this since we are wearing clothes, right? And unfortunately, we do not wear at least 50% of clothes we own. And almost 1/3 of Filipinos throw away a clothing item after wearing it just once.
That's a very interesting statistic, Prince, because you have the big brands and retailers producing too much too fast, as they call it, the fast fashion industry, and manipulate us into a toxic cycle of overconsumption. The products are reasonable and fashionable, but the bottom line is, it's about making profit.
Right, that's what's really happening right now. And I think what we really need to do is to shift from the linear system that we have right now into a more circular and sustainable one. And when we define sustainable fashion, it's basically the long-term vision and system and lifestyle of how we are developing and maintaining a balance between the social and environmental, as well as the economic aspects of the fashion industry. And it's also a transition, not just of the materials and the technologies that we are using right now, but at the same time, and most importantly, the values that we have. And again, we don't have to we don't have to equate value to price, but the value should be dictating the price. So that, it cannot be the definite factor of how a clothing is made or how a garment looks.
But Prince, I'm seeing a lot of brands and retailers joining the bandwagon for sustainability. All of these companies have sustainability departments, sustainability officers, and executives. Is this for real or just a marketing ploy, in your view?
Well, Rico, we hope it's all true. Although we have come across with some brands, we have been in contact and in dialogue with them, and they really have the sustainability programs already in place, especially with the brands in the Philippines. And so we're so excited for the future of our local industry.
And for the Filipino consumer, let's get back to basics. What can they do to change their style and shopping habits to be environmentally sustainable?
Right. So I would like to remind our viewers out there that you have environmental and socio-economic responsibilities. And as consumers, it's really good to invest on knowledge and really be part of the solution. And as we always say in Fashion Revolution, be curious, find out, and do something. Because that's how can we address the underlying issues that we have in the industry. And some tips that I can give our consumers listening to us right now is first, buy less clothing. It's very simple. And also, keep your clothes in use for as long as you can. Because today, the average lifetime of our garments is just 3 years. But if we could really wear our clothes more than 50 times, instead of just 5 times, we can actually save more than 400% of our carbon emissions. And again, other factors would be don't throw your clothes away. Instead, donate them, swap, or repair, alter. Those are good things that you can do for our garments.
And Orsola De Castro from Fashion Revolution International, one of the directors, has said that the most sustainable garment is the one already in your wardrobe. So it's very practical, what
Right.
Orsola has said. A Fashion Revolution Week has started yesterday, Prince, which coincides with Earth Month. What do you hope to achieve over the next week?
Okay, so this year, the Fashion Revolution Week happens in this week, April 18 to 24, with the theme Money, Fashion, and Power. And this really builds on the knowledge that the mainstream fashion industry is built upon the exploitation of our labor and natural resources. And so some of the things that we are aiming for this Fashion Revolution Week is first to end the human and environmental exploitation in the global fashion industry, and also safe and dignified working conditions, as well as living wages for all people in the supply chain. And third, we want a redistributed and more balanced of power
Right.
across the global fashion industry.
And in terms of policy, how are you hoping that the next government, the next administration will approach issues in the fashion supply chain?
You know, it's interesting to note that currently we already have some government organizations in contact and making a collaborative group with our private sector. And we have this technical working group on creating the Philippine garment and textile industry roadmap and making it more sustainable and circular. And we have this project wherein we are asking the presidentiables of their plans for the next 6 years. And unfortunately, only 3 of them has responded for now. But we are still, as a policy also making organization, we're also on the dialogue and the process of research and engaging and lobbying for the policies that we want to cater to the Philippines.
Fashion Revolution Philippines spokesperson Prince Jimdel Ventura, thank you so much for joining us on the final
Thank you,
word.
Rico.